everyone, my name is Gusti and Aryanjani. I'm as the Prime Minister or first speaker of this group. So the motion is, this house believes single-sex schools are good for education. First, single-sex school, also known as a single-gender school, where the male student and female student are separated. That means the female student and male students from different schools. Single-sex school was common before 20th century, especially in junior high school and senior high school. Recently, this education have many interests because of research. This education usually based with religion and culture. While in other countries, this method are popular, such as in Chile, South Korea, and other English-speaking countries such as UK, Singapore, New Zealand, and South Africa. As we know, in Indonesia, mostly use co-educational school, and we have been here some cases. Example, the cases about the student getting pregnant before marriage. It because many students have fall in love with the wrong age. Some students have a crush at a young age that make them fall in love each other. Student cannot focus during the lessons, and the student who have crush with the same class, it will be hard to focus during the lessons, and they will get lazy and not excited to listen what the teacher explained to them, because they just pay attention with their class in the class. Because of that, single-sex school education are good for education. We as a government team, we are agree with this motion. We will apply this method to junior school and senior high school. Why? Because at that age, people or students, they are through the puberty and they have unstable emotion. We will build a dorm around the school so the student can control their lifestyle. Each student have no more chance to interaction to other gender, and when the student in the dorm, we will define the time and all activities are scheduled. For women, we will give them special feminities class or lessons such as cooking class, makeup class, and dance practice. For men, we will give them activities or lessons such as sport or automotive. This method is used to the student to not get boring in a dorm. However, they will be learn about sex education and what changes occur in women and men when they are entering the puberty and how to take care of it. With this education, the student can be aware from sexual harassment and unhealthy association. With this method, we are very sure we can improve better the character of student. So, based on that things, we as a government team, we have several arguments to support our cases. Why we believe single-sex schools are good for education? Because at that age, I mean students in junior school and senior high school, they are in puberty. That means they have a passion with other gender and they may fall in love, and they in the future it cause the failure to reach the future. So with this method, we are very sure we can reduce the pregnancy before marriage, prevent unhealthy association, and increase the student to increase interesting the student to learning in school. Teaching method is one of successful the student in school. With this method, we are very sure we can improve the character student more better, and we can create a good generation for the future. To support these cases, we have two arguments. As a Prime Minister, I explained about single-sex schools are very good for education, and we can create a good generation for the future. Meanwhile, my second speaker will explain about the next argument.
Hello guys, please introduce myself. My name is Nimade Meta Suwardani. You can call me Meta. I am Deputy Prime Minister. Today I will submit my opinion about this house believe single sex are good for education. I really agree with this motion because when boy and girl in the same class, then usually they will not focus on learning, especially when in a one class there is a date. It will interfere with their concentration in learning. They will definitely only focus on their partner and forget their main goal of coming to school, especially in a high school. Usually at this time they are going through puberty, so their emotions are very unstable. They don't understand how to manage stress, and finally, if they are in a trouble with their partner, it will really interfere with their learning process because they are in the same class and will meet every day. If they are in the different class, it will make students focus on learning. They will not playing while studying with their male friends. Then student achievement will increase. If all school implements these systems, I am absolutely sure there will be not dating in the classroom, so that I will not cause fatal things such as pregnancy at school age. This case is very prevalent, especially in Indonesian. Even junior high school students who should still be playing with their friends already have to experience being a housewife and thirsty to drop out of school because they are pregnant. So this motion is very appropriate and should be applied to schools that are still implementing a system of men and women in a one classroom. One-sex school are schools that only accept school of one particular sex, believing that an educational environment fostered by one sex is more conducive to learning than companion schools. Environment fostered by one sex is more academically from studying in co-education school. But girls find spirit school more conducive to achievement. However, academic results are not the only criterion on which they judge the success of the education system. If necessary, to correct discrimination, proponents of one-sex school argue that by eliminating the distraction of the order of sex, students learn more effectively and feel better about their education. Opponents argue that co-education schools are by contrast important because they better prepare students for the real world and do not seek to spirit students from the realities of adult life. This debate can apply to both the secondary school and the college level, but one-sex institutions are found more frequently at the junior level. So that is my opinion about these motions. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gusti Putu Kusuma Dewi as a speaker 3. My opinion on this house believes single-sex school are good for education. With this method, we are very sure we can improve student character better, so that we can create a good generation for the future. I agree with the implementation of the one-sex school, especially during junior and senior high school. It is very good to apply one-sex school because at this time, teenagers usually start to be attracted to the opposite sex. According to the general difference in social maturity of the student who come from homogeneous school and heterogeneous school, on average the social maturity of students who come from homogeneous school and heterogeneous school are both in the high category, but the social maturity of students who come from heterogeneous school has a higher social maturity comparing the social maturity student from homogeneous school. The implementation of one-sex school really needs proper teacher assistance so that it can be released very well. Apart from being a good for the social maturity of the one-sex school, it also has a positive impact on the family because the family can be safe and there is no one needs to worry too much about their children, preventing the occurring of marriage at the young age, and there are still many positive impact of this one-sex school. Sex school is also implemented in several schools in Indonesia. In dormitories or Islamic boarding school, students who come from this one-sex school tends to be more independent and responsible and enjoy their high school years with their friends. Okay, several studies have also shown that girl brains are different from boys' brain. If you accept that the premise CO education may not work satisfactorily for every child, because girls and boys have different ways of adapting with the presence of one sex. It has several advantages, namely 1. Limiting social pressure. Some children thrive in the school. This is often a good thing for the boys and the girls, as they usually mature at the different rates. In the one-sex school, they also really understand how their studies here, adjusting their teaching style with these special needs. Many proponents of one-sex education argue that boys in the CO education settings are less likely to take art concerts of the text and advanced academic subject just to avoiding typography nerds. Likewise, girls avoiding science and technology because they don't want to look tomboys. Single-sex school thrive once again as a parent release, that allowing their sons or daughter to study in their own ways is a very important concept have a healthier competitiveness, as the boys tend to soften their competitiveness and become more collaborative in one-sex arguments. They can be boys and not worry about that what girl might be things, or they might be few by girls. Girls are often less see one sex cycle, take more risks, are becoming more positive competitive. 3. Elimination gender stereotype. Oftentimes, girls are empowered to be leaders and boys are taught to collaborate better. In the right environment, students will quickly feel comfortable exploring non-traditional subjects. For girls, this is often maths, advanced science, computer, technology, and carpentry. Boys more often participate in the art, humanities, language, chorus, and orchestra in one-sex settings. Children are more likely to move out of their stereotypical rules and behavior where they are left alone. One-sex education has a fun way of encouraging afraid, serious, and enthusiastic in short to be themselves. Of the 3 advances, there are still many other benefits that can be obtained from the one gender school, both from a psychological and cognitive point of view. So it is very important to implementation this one-sex school.
So guys, those are the arguments of 3 speakers. Now I will present the conclusion. We agree with this motion. Single-sex schools are good for education. This method very suitable for the younger generation now, because there have been many cases that have happened, such as students pregnant before marriage, unhealthy associations, and students not interested with lessons. It will cause their future not achieved. Who will lose? Of course, their parents. Because of that, we are very much agree with this method. Thank you.